of the day so that you can be on the know. So as I told you, I'm one of your moderators for the day. My name is Claire Karani. My co-moderator is Edith Wanjiro. She will introduce herself shortly. Mongoi Karanja is also co-moderator. She'll be on the social media platforms. We have Fresha Kamau, who will also be on the social media platforms. So today is basically International Girls in ICT Day, as you can see on the poster. And we would like to have some hashtags for the day, which is hashtag Girls in ICT. So as you are posting on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, those are our handles. Kindly do tag us when you do your post. Make sure this is a very interactive day. This is a day for us as women to be able to speak out and talk of these careers in STEM. How will we invite more women? So make sure when you're tweeting, kindly tweet us and use the hashtag Girls in ICT. So agenda for the day, we'll be having our introductions just as we allow people to come in. For all the participants, in case your friends maybe have not gotten the link, please do send it to them. I sent it to your emails, and I've also sent a reminder right this morning about 10 minutes ago. So if maybe one of your friends has not gotten the participant link, kindly do send it to them. Then we'll have our first speaker at immediately 9:30, a second speaker at around 10, and so on and so forth. So if you have we'll allow only 2 pressing questions. After a speaker is done, we can only allow 2 questions. And then at the very end, we'll have a long Q&A session for all the panelists. They'll be on board as well. Yeah, so after that, will just be a Q&A, and then we'll end our webinar there. So for now, let me see, we can. Is everyone? How many are we right now, so that you can know the progress? Remember, if you have any question, kindly use the chat section for all of us. So for now, as the participants, you're only able to chat, and you can be able to see the speaker, you can be able to see the slides, you're able to see the presenters as well. But for now, you're not able to speak because we'd like first to have a talk with the speakers. Then after that is when we're going to be able to allow you to speak. If you have a question for the panelists, you'll be able to be given the request to speak. So for now, just bear with us as we do the morning part of listening to our speakers. You can only do your commenting on the chat section. So I hope everyone can hear me clearly now. Then there's no background noise or anything. So if you have any issue, kindly do comment down below. So now I'd just like to do a very brief introduction of the panelists. I know when they come in, they'll introduce themselves further, but mine is just to give you just a taste of the iceberg to know who you're dealing with. I know on the posters, you saw their names and what positions they're holding and where they're working. So we have our first speaker will be Joy B. She is an IT solutions architect at Safaricom. So basically, she'll be sharing her journey, how she ended up there, what she's been doing since school, what course she did. We'll get to know more about her, get to know how do you even be an IT solutions architect. Is that course in school that you have to study to be that? The companies she's worked for, the challenges that she's experienced. She'll tell us about her mentorship journey. She'll tell you about that. Next up, we'll be having Denise Allela. Lela is one of our alumni in both Girls and Immobilis. She joined Girls a few years back, and later on she became a lecturer at Immobilis. She's also been a GDG Kisumu co-lead. She'll talk more about that. She'll talk about the Andela program, where she was a program assistant, and how she ended up being the developer ecosystems community manager at Google. She will share her story and you'll get to know much more about her. Next up, we'll be having Ruth Kaveke. Ruth Kaveke is the director at Tecknogalz, and she's also a Tech Women Fellow. She's a Zuri Awards STEM honoree, and she's also an author of a book called She's a Techie. So she'll be able to explain more to us how she became a lady techpreneur. What does it take to start a business of your own? What does it take to, what challenges do you experience? And how can you overcome these challenges? She's also an Africa Code Week ambassador. So she'll tell us more about her founding company, Tecknogalz, what they do, how she's able to mentor these girls, and so much more. We'll also have later on Beth Wangari. Beth Wangari is the change management engineer. She'll share more on what she's doing with Technovation. She and her co-lead, they lead the Safaricom Technovation Challenge. I'm sure many of you have heard about it. So she'll share more about these Technovation challenges, what these high school girls have done, the amazing innovations she's been able to see, and so much more. I'll let her be the one to talk more about it. And she'll also talk about a mentorship program that she was in a few years back. Lastly, we'll also have Tabitha Kavyu. So Tabitha Kavyu is a DSC lead at University of Nairobi. She is an I Am Remarkable facilitator. She's a crowdsourced influencer, and she's a mentor at Technovation, and still a Kamilimu alumni. So I'd like them to share more about this mentorship program that they all have been in, what it has done to them, how it has helped them, has it helped them in their career, what are they able to do different, and what are they currently doing. So that is the lineup of our amazing speakers. I just want to give you, a bit of what they're doing, but when they come in, they'll explain in detail what they are doing. So I can see I think we have all the speakers here. I think I'll just let them say hi, and tell them how they're feeling today morning, and then I'll speak after that. So our speakers, if you can just have you say hi to our participants, to our audience, it would be good. We can start with anyone, Joy, Allela, Tabitha, Beth. Anyone can just say hi to the participants.
Hi, Claire, this is Joy. Thank you very much for the introduction, and welcome to everyone joining and who has already joined the webinar. I look forward to interacting with you and just getting to share our stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy. Someone else, Allela, can you go up next kindly?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. It's a very amazing day. It's rainy on my side, and I'm so excited to see what's going to come up of this. Hope to interact well.
Great. Thank you, Allela. We can have Beth speak next.
So hi, everyone.
Hi, Beth.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to learning from each and every person.
Thank you, Beth. We can have Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Are you with us? Tabitha?
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad today. It's pretty really looking forward to hearing stories and also interact. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Who else has not spoken? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I am Ruth from Mombasa. Hope you can hear me now.
Yes, now we can hear you. Yes.
Great. So I'm dialing in from Mombasa. I'm very excited to share and discuss moving on with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So as you've heard, we have a great list of panelists. They're all here with us. We'll be starting with Joy B at exactly 9:30. I just want to give us time for more participants to join in. So kindly, if you have the participants link and maybe your friend did not get the link, please do share it to them. I sent it via email and I've sent a reminder email this morning. So for now, let's just wait just a minute. And as we said, so as I said, the few guidelines that are there for the participants, for now you're able to chat with us on our chat section. And then later on, when we have a Q&A, we'll give a chance to the participants who'd like to have some questions for the participants to speak. We'll request for the audio and you'll be able to speak to our panelists. And then after every panelist, we'll just ask for maybe 2 pressing questions. If you have a pressing question for the panelist, we'll allow at least 2 questions so that you can have those. But the main Q&A session will be at the very end at around 11:30. So we hope for a very exciting and good webinar. You can see we have a great list of panelists, and I'm very glad we could all join us from the different communities. So if you're coming in, kindly just say hi on the chat section, tell us where you're joining from. And if you have any issue, especially with the connection, kindly just let us know on the chat section. If you cannot be able to see our screen, if you're not able to hear the speaker really well. So when we have our speakers speak, we'll be able to see them. They'll enable their video. So don't worry about that. Now it's just an introduction and we want to be at par with everyone and make sure that you're all listening to us. So for now, just kindly wait just a minute, then we'll start off the webinar. For now, let me just show you the agenda of the day so that you can also be in the know. Our hashtags for the day is #Girls in ICT. Kindly do tag our Mobi Girls handles on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Let's keep the conversation going online. And that is our speaker lineup. We'll start off with Joy B at exactly 9:30. Just 10 minutes, then we kick off with our first speakers. For now, if you have any question, any concerns, please do ask on the comment section. We'll be here to assist you. So I'd just like to introduce one of our co-moderators. Her name is Trisha Kamau. I'd just like her to tell us something.
Hi everyone, my name is Trisha Kamau. I am an administrator at Tecknogalz. I'm happy, I'm very excited about today, hoping that we all be inspired and all. Thank you guys. I'll be on social media platforms.
Yes. Thank you so much, Fresha, for that. She'll be on social media, just updating whatever you're doing right now. Please remember to tweet. Have to make this day known, because I know most of you didn't even know there's a day like ICT Girls Day. So please, let's make the International Girls in ICT Day to trend today. Let us all tweet about it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If your friend doesn't have the link, please do send it to them so that they can be part of the conversation. Let this be a very interactive day. It's not a day for us to speak, but for us to listen, learn from each other. If you have any comments, any suggestion, please do drop it on the comment section, the chat section. That's why we're able to interact and get to know more about one another. We'll make sure that we do these webinars on a regular, not just when we have a great occasion. So for now, let me just see if another co-moderator can join us and just introduce herself. Just a minute. Okay, so I think we can just kick off the webinar. Our co-moderator will join us a bit later. Joy B, are you ready? I think we can kick off and start with you.
Hi, Claire. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I think we can turn on our video so that the participants can also see us.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we'd like to kick off our webinar officially. I'd like to thank the panelists for joining us today. And I'd also like to thank all the participants. I can see some people from Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru. Keep on the conversation going on our chat section and on social media. Our handles are on the screen. I hope you can see them at MobiGirls on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hashtag of the day is Girls in ICT. Please do share the link in case your friend doesn't have it. Participants can be able to share the link that I had shared on your email. I also sent a reminder in the morning. And now I think we can kick off with our first speaker. Her name is Joy B. So I'd just like her to introduce herself, tell us more about yourself, what you're currently doing, and we can proceed from there.
Okay, thank you, Claire. As she's mentioned and as she had mentioned a bit earlier, my name is Joy. Can you hear me clearly? I hope so.
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is
In case
Joy.
you cannot hear her, kindly just comment in the chat section.
Okay. I'm a software engineer by profession, currently working as an IT solutions architect at Safaricom. So I'll explain a bit later on what that entails. I've just seen someone in the chat section asking if I was in Nairobi Primary. Yes, I was very much in Nairobi Primary, class of 2009, proudly. My journey in tech started in high school, I would say. I'll talk about that a bit later on. I'm very passionate about creating and building technology that has an impactful meaning in people's lives and that can impact people's lives positively. In my free time, I enjoy traveling with my friends. And I'm really excited to be here today.
Okay, great. So you've said you're an IT solutions architect. I mean, just kindly just break it down for us who really don't know what that entails. I mean, how did you get to be an IT solutions architect? Why did you decide to just pursue a career in tech? I mean, there's so many other careers that you'd go with, but why a career in tech? And how did you end up to become an IT solutions architect?
Okay, so I first started getting interested in technologies and computers in general when I was in high school. So I selected computer studies, and I had a very amazing computer studies teacher who was called Mrs. Osero. So she would really take us through and inspire us and just really help us believe that if we want to pursue careers in technology, we actually can and we can succeed at it. So I think that's where my passion really grew. And as a result, when I joined university, I decided to pursue a course in mathematics and computer science. So I have a BSc in mathematics and computer science from JCOT. Then after that, I actually didn't know there was such a role as IT solutions architect. I just knew the common ones: developer, UI, UX, back and front end, just the normal roles. So when in my first role, I was actually just a software engineering intern, nothing out of the ordinary. And then now when I got my next job, I had applied for the same role. But once I got into the interview, the CEO started explaining to me that there's this new role that they want to fill, and he thinks I would be a good fit for it. So he explained what it entails, and I thought it really fits into what I wanted to do and what I wanted to pursue. So an IT solutions architect is sort of like an actual architect in the construction of a building. So picture the builders, picture the architect. So you're the one who gets to plan out the system even before the developers start the work. So you plan out how the systems will talk to each other, which means that will be you plan out the databases, you plan out the infrastructure. So it's basically laying the groundwork even before the development of systems and softwares begins. So for me, it was a very interesting role because other than just doing the actual work of building the system, I now get a more high-level overview of what it really takes to get softwares and solutions working.
Okay, that's a very in-depth analysis of that. But you're like an architect now, just in computer form. You're able to design and do that, which is very amazing. Yeah. So now I know you've not only worked at Safaricom, but you've worked at Shimba Technologies, at Nanotech Digital. So just kindly just give us some instances or some challenges that you have faced in these different companies that you've worked for, especially being a lady in tech. What are the challenges that you've experienced, and how have you been able to overcome these challenges?
Okay, I think the most memorable one, if I can say so, is imposter syndrome, especially when you're starting out. When you get into a new company or a new space, there are all of these new terms being thrown at you. People have knowledge about all these big things. So you can really start to doubt yourself and your abilities and your knowledge. So that was something that I really struggled with. And even getting into new roles, especially, and meeting new teams, seeing people with different skill sets, it can really make you start having doubts in yourself and not being very confident in yourself. So imposter syndrome is definitely something that I have faced. But the resolution to that is just learning to have more confidence in your abilities, being more, I don't know if you can still see me. Okay. Being confident in your abilities and learning to speak out about your achievements, and also having friends and colleagues who will be able to reinforce you. Something else that I have faced as a challenge, now the opposite of imposter syndrome, is actually not having enough of the required skills. So for example, you join a new role or you join a new organization and they require a certain skill set, or they require you to have knowledge about a certain system or a domain, for example, and you don't have that knowledge. So what you can do in such a scenario is to just upskill, always stay learning, whether it's online or physical classes, keep growing your knowledge and your skill set, and you'll be good to go. Definitely a challenge that goes unspoken is the discrimination that we face, especially if you're a female in tech and if you're young. So when you're sent into a project, for example, some people can think that you're not really capable or you're not really the right person for the job. So I've been in meetings where I've entered and I've started speaking and people still expect the engineer to walk in because they expect a man to walk in. So those are some of the challenges that we face.
Oh, okay. I can see someone on the comment section has just mentioned something about imposter syndrome. Could you just mention something about this? Yeah,
Okay.
just explain to us what is imposter syndrome. Did you have that? Is there a test by?
Sorry, I think I've lost you.
Oh, sorry, I was just talking about imposter syndrome. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, I can.
Can the audience, participants, and you? Okay. So I just wanted you to speak a little bit more on imposter syndrome, what it's all about, that we can get to do a test or just to get to know ourselves better.
Okay. So as I mentioned, imposter syndrome is something that I struggle with and still do sometimes. So it's the feeling that you're not really adequate or your skills are not enough for a certain opportunity or a certain project or a certain role. So for example, you see a scholarship and it sounds like something you can do, but you start doubting yourself. You start telling yourself, do I really have this skill set? Will they even pick me? What is it that I have that is so special that will make them choose me as opposed to the other candidates? So it's something that a lot of us are struggling with. There's a test that you can do. So I'll try look for it and I'll send a link in the chat section. But I've said that the only way to deal with it is to first recognize that you actually do have imposter syndrome and take steps to fight that. So a very simple way is to take a pen and a paper and list down all the achievements you've ever achieved, if you can think of. So you can start with, let's say, this year from January, I was able to achieve this. In February, this. Last year, I achieved this. And the more you do that, the more you realize that you actually are worthy. You actually have the skill set. You actually have the achievements. So it's just it'll just help you regain that confidence in yourself. And also the people around you can also be very critical and just helping to affirm you and to remind you that you are capable and you are deserving of the positions that you get. So let me just look for that link. Then as soon as I get it, I'll put it in the chat section.
Yes. Yes, great, no problem. I can see someone else on the comment section has just talked about I am remarkable. Great. It's great that you mentioned that. We'll be speaking to Tabitha a bit later on, and she'll explain more about the I am remarkable session and what she was able to do. I'm really glad that you mentioned that. And just to add on to what Joy has said, I think another test that is very essential that you guys should also check out is www.16personalities.com. It's just about you getting to know yourself. We are all different things. You know about the 4 temperaments: the choleric, the sanguine, the phlegmatic, and that other one that I've forgotten. But you know all about these 4 temperaments. Now the personality test just helps to you to know yourself. Are you the debater? Are you the myself? I'm a counsel, meaning I like these social meetups, and I'm really very passionate about things that involve others. And I'm those people, less who work well under pressure, but I'm able to still express myself. So just go to the www.16personalities.com and you'll get to know your, what personality are you. So why, when in a group of people, am I able to speak out, or do I like expressing myself on text? Am I better during, yes, Joy B has just put that link there. So kindly do this test and you'll get to know yourself better. So on to you, Joy. You spoke about imposter syndrome, and I know you are part of the Kamilimu mentorship program. So I'd just like you to share more about this mentorship program, how it has helped you. Do you think you could advise it to more computer students or generally to universities? Because anyway, it doesn't mean that only computer students need the mentorship aspect, but just tell us more about the mentorship program and how it helped you.
Okay, thank you, Claire. I joined Kamilimu in 2017. So Kamilimu is a mentorship program for students who are undertaking courses in IT or who have an interest in IT or pursuing anything IT. So we take in university students, college students, diploma students, students in any institution of higher learning who are interested in pursuing a career in all the various tracks in IT. So it's an 8-month mentorship program. It's very hands-on. We have a technical track. We also build your personal, your communication skills. So we also do a lot of industry exposure. So it's a very good initiative that I would advise anyone who is currently in university or in college and they're interested in pursuing a course in IT to go through. I'll share a link in the chat section in a bit. I joined Kamilimu in 2017 when I was just finishing my 4th year. So at that time, I was not very certain what exactly in IT I wanted to pursue. I knew I wanted to pursue IT, but I didn't know whether it was UI, UX, front end, back end, or project management. I really had no idea. So Kamilimu really helped me to have a better understanding, and it really exposed me to different professionals in the industry. So I was able to meet someone who works as a back-end engineer, someone who works as a data scientist, someone who works as a UI, UX professional, and really get to understand what they do and try and figure out what it is that I would like to pursue. So for me, I can say mentorship has been very beneficial because it helped me chart out my path in life. And it also helped me to have confidence in myself. So my mentor is called Dr. Chow. She's the one who runs the mentorship program. So she really helps to push me to opportunities that I would not usually go for by myself. For example, applying for scholarships and certain things. So I think mentorship is very important. And not only just receiving mentorship, but also providing mentorship as well. So after I finished my mentee year in 2017, I went back to Kamilimu as a peer mentor. So that means that you're assigned 2 other individuals who are now currently in university. You just get to work with them. You do certain projects with them to just help them as well figure out what exactly it is that they want to do. After that, I joined as a professional mentor and currently I'm in the committee and just helping with the day-to-day running of the mentorship program.
Okay, I really do agree, especially with what you've said about Kamilimu. I too am an alumni of Kamilimu, and I can say Kamilimu really molded me. It taught me what was not taught in campus. Did not teach us how to write a CV, how to present yourself when you're in that boardroom and you're presenting your ideas. You're more taught of the theory bit, what of the practical bit. How do you present?
Yeah.
Kamilimu was a very key part of being a whole.
Claire, I think you're breaking. We can't really hear you.
I really do agree with you on what you just said.
Okay, I think we lost Claire. So as she's rejoining in the meantime, I can respond to a question that I've seen in the chat section. So someone is asking that there's a general feeling across schools, especially secondary schools, that computer science or generally software engineering is not marketable. So what does it take to make yourself marketable enough to work for a company like Safaricom or whichever other company? So this is actually not very true. Software engineering and computer science courses in general are very marketable. At the end of the day, it depends on how you present yourself as a person. So this is very important, because you yourself, when you look at yourself as Edgar, how are you presenting yourself as a brand? When you say Edgar, what is it that people will remember? What is it that will come to mind? What is it that will make you as an individual stand out and be chosen for jobs or opportunities as opposed to other people? So it's all about how you brand yourself, because at any one time there'll be 100, 1,000 people who have degrees in the same course that you did. So it's up to how you set yourself apart. So how you can do this is by taking on extra things. So for example, if you're in university, are you helping out on the side? Are you volunteering your time in any initiatives? Are you doing internships to help you gain exposure even before you graduate? Are you taking other online courses that will help supplement what you're learning in class? You're the one to build yourself to make yourself more marketable. And even when you finish your high school or university, push yourself, go to those places that you want to work at or you want to volunteer at, and offer your time and your services, and just put yourself out there, is what I would say. I don't know if Claire is back or any of the other co-moderators. Okay, as we wait for her to come back, yes, if you're in Mombasa, you can apply. The only criteria is that you have to be able to attend the physical session. So we have about 2 Saturday sessions a month. So as long as you can be able to come physically for that, then no problem. Yes, we do mentor in cybersecurity. So we have about 3 tracks. One of them is cybersecurity, data science, and mobile and web development. So you can choose whichever track you're interested in. I've shared the link in the chat section, the Kamilimo website. Claire, have you been able to join us? Yes, I can see Claire is back now.
Yes, sorry about that. I just had some. Have you been able to answer the questions on the chat section?
Yes, I've been answering some of them.
Okay, so is there anything else? Have you shared about data science?
Yes, I've stated that we have 3 tracks in Kamilimo, and data science is one of them.
Okay, great. Maybe is there any other question from? I think there's one other question from Geek Tutor. The last one. For someone just getting into IT like me, what do you think I can start from? Should I learn to code or learn to type, or what?
Okay, so I'm not sure if typing is so if you're just getting into IT, I think the most important thing, even before you learn how to code or you pick up whatever language, is understanding the fundamentals of computer science. What exactly is computer science? What are some of the basic things, some of the basic fundamentals? So there's a very good course from Harvard that I took, and I would advise you to take. It's an online course, it's called CS50. So it really gives you a very good introduction into what computer science is, what exactly it entails, and now after that is when you can be able to choose whatever other language you want to pursue. So I'll share a link of it just in a bit as I open.
Okay, thank you for that. And someone else is asking, Joy, what if I'm not a student but self-learning? Can I be able to get into Kamilimo?
Okay, so for Kamilimo, we focus mostly on the students, especially those who are working towards a degree or a diploma. But again, if your application is outstanding and we feel that you really deserve to be in the program and you're actively working towards a career in IT, then I think it's possible to be admitted.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we'll take in more questions a bit later. Thank you so much, Joy, for being our first panelist. You really kickstarted this on a high note. Thank you so much. We'll still have you a bit later on when we're having questions for all our panelists. So, Bill, just hold on your question. Let's get to the next speaker so that we don't run out of time. But thank you so much, Joy. We'll for sure get back to you, Bill. We've noted it down. Thank you, Joy. Yes, we'll move on to the next speaker in just a few minutes. In around 2-3 minutes, we'll move on to Denise Allela. So, as you can see on our page, our hashtags for the day is Girls in ICT. Please do tweet and use our social media handles at MobiGirls on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Please do keep the conversation going online. In case you have any issues, maybe you can't see a participant or you have questions, we have the chat section. We'll be giving some 2-3 questions after every speaker has a chance to speak. And at the very end, we'll be having a Q&A session for all our speakers. So in case there's any important thing you would like to share, we have the chat section where our first speaker has shared some links. Please do check them out. They'll be very important. And now we just like to go to the second speaker, but let's just give her some few minutes as she prepares.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Am I clear enough?
Yes, you are, Allela. Yes, you are. You're ready? You can.
Yes, I am, but maybe we can give people a Twitter break just to share.
Yes, we can give it. Now, this is your chance to just tweet about the session, what you've learned from Joy. Just share to your friends. And then in a few minutes, we'll be starting off with Allela. Let's give them just 2 minutes, then we can kick off with you, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, I think we can now start, Allela.
Okay. So morning, everyone.
Also, kindly turn on your camera, Allela, so that the participants can see you.
Sorry, unfortunately, I won't be able to do so.
Oh, okay, so
We all know we are working from home and we have our tutors.
Oh, okay, fine, it's fine. Okay, we will excuse you for today.
Just on a light note, though. So morning. My name is Allela. I work as the developer ecosystem community manager at Google, based in the Kenya office. I also happen to be an alumni of the MobiGirls program by Immobilis, beneficiary of .Connect. and also a former lecturer at Immobilis, with a background in software engineering for the past 3 years. So basically, that's just bits of who I am. Yeah, back to you,
Okay,
Claire.
great. We are very happy that you are here at Immobilis. You are a lecturer. You passed through the Mobigals program, so you are really part of the Immobilis team, and you're very proud of your success. You didn't mention that you are also a digital skills trainer.
Oh, yes. So I happen to also have been a Google Digital Skills Trainer, which is a partnership between Google and Immobilis that seeks to train people on digital skills, digital literacy, how to get started in the digital space, how to create an online presence for your business. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So just kindly just tell us what inspired you to join this tech field? Like, where did it begin? Did it begin since you're young? Did you know you want to do a career in tech, or what made you just pursue a career in tech?
Okay, so my journey in technology started more or less in high school. I happened to be amongst the 5 students in a class of 278 who decided to pursue computer studies. And I wasn't doing it because I loved computers, let me not lie. I was doing it because I had access to games. So if you were studying computer studies in high school, there was this one computer that always had Road Rush, which is a motorbike game. And I really loved playing games. So it was really like, that was the only time I would get to play. But then at some point, my teacher just decided to push me more into learning Pascal. I know that Pascal is a very old language. I don't even think anybody uses it anymore. So he'd come to class and tell you, instead of playing games today, I want you to just try do something in Pascal. So the push was really good. His name was Mr. Mogo. I'll never forget, because it was like, I wanted to play, but then he wanted me to learn. I'm like, how am I going to balance this? But then with time, I grew an interest. I wanted to learn more about what exactly this whole computer thing was about. Was it just me learning how to type in Microsoft Word, or was there more to it? So then after high school, I got into Maseno University to pursue computer science. And like any other case scenario, you enter a class and you're like 5 out of, let's say, 40 gentlemen. And you're like, whoa, how does this even go? So it was me seeing that there were not so many ladies in my class who were pursuing the same course or even interested. You'd find maybe in the whole class, you'd find only 3 ladies actually trying to develop something. So at some point when I applied for Mobigals, which actually now got me learning more into what programming was all about, because truth be told, we all know the story of when you're in campus, it's more or less you're learning theory. And so Mobigals provided for me a chance to get hands-on skills, which was a bit different, something I had never experienced before. I was in my second year. So we started learning how to develop websites just using HTML. And I was so excited, just writing Hello World. I was like, this is something, I think I want to do. So we moved on forward, and then from learning how to create websites, we moved into learning how to develop mobile applications, which was really interesting for me. I was like, if I can do this, then I think other people can do it also. And so luckily for me, a few months after finishing my course at Mobilis for Mobigals, I was called back to do Africa Code Week in Kibera and Kangemi. And these are not like the places filled with high income people. They're a low income society. So when I went to Kibera on the first day, I found children who had never seen a computer, had no idea about what exactly we're doing. And all I was supposed to teach them was how to make games, which was really exciting for me because it was the excitement on their face. They had a resource center, but had never accessed it. It was for a few people to access. But here's a platform they've been given. You're going to learn how to create games. So it was just seeing the excitement on their face, seeing that there was more to do other than just playing for me or just learning how to make websites and making mobile applications. So what inspired me more was the need to create a difference in the lives of other people, the need to have something more tangible, and also to come up with solutions that other people could actually use. Yeah.
Okay, that's really great to hear. And now, you are a developer ecosystem community manager at Google Kenya. Hey, how did you even get to that? I know many people will be asking, how do you get to work at Google? Like, what do you need? What requirements? What do you have to have a 10-year CV and career just to work at Google? Just share with us your journey and how you got to be a developer ecosystems community manager at Google.
Wow. Okay. That's actually well put. So the thing is, while still learning, I decided to start volunteering because there were so many tech events. I remember I went to my first hackathon in Kisumu, and I was the only lady in a group of 30 gentlemen. I was like, whoa, what is not happening? Like, this is just not what I want. Like, I just don't want to see this anymore. Because the moment I got inside, I was told, Allela, you cannot join a team. So what you're going to do is you'll create for us the slides, or you're not going to be actively coding. But in my head, I was like, I felt I had enough skills to actually be part of a team rather than just being the person who was creating the slides. And when I asked one of the people I asked to be in a team with, he was like, it's just because ladies are stubborn. And I was like, not going to happen on my watch. I'm not going to let this happen. I happen to be rebellious in a way. I'm like, I'm not going to let this happen. So I decided to start a team of my own. I sat alone in a table. I had this hardware materials that my sister got me as a birthday gift, and I was like, I'm just going to figure out what exactly I want to create, and come Sunday I'm going to pitch my idea with or without a team. So I developed a hardware system that was supposed to monitor sewer levels, and then I pitched it. And when I was about to pitch, actually, two guys approached me. They're like, "Can we join your team?" And I'm like, "I'm the one who was supposed to create the slides, and here you are, you want to join your team." So just seeing that happened, we then ended up pitching because the rule was you have to pitch, and so it inspired me to dive more into community because I saw the underrepresentation of women in the tech space that day. It was so clear. So then I started volunteering as a GDG Kisumu volunteer part team, and then I moved into being the Women Tech Makers ambassador, and then the GDG co-lead. So all this was just like an opening point for me. It was seeing what the community could do, and then trying to increase the number of women who are coming to events. So from that on, then also being part of the Google Digital Skills program. So it was just basically the fact that I was actively in the community already, and I had already in-depth knowledge about how the community ran. I would always say that is what got me to Google. Yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. And I'm great that you brought out the aspect of volunteering because, right now, most of us are looking for jobs as young people. And when you're telling us to volunteer and we're not getting a pay out of it, it's a bit difficult because yes, we understand the times are hard, but just tell us, is there a benefit of volunteering as much as you're not getting some compensation behind it? Just speak more about that.
So yes, there is. So basically, I'd say the biggest advantage of being a volunteer is the fact that you get to network. And it's a common phrase. We say your network is your net worth, right? So as a volunteer, you get to interact with various people from various backgrounds. You get to interact with the speakers themselves. When you do a call for speakers, you get to know this is the type of person I want to get to know more about. Also, you have an amazing, I always call my GDG Kisumu my extended family. So like you have another family. The same way I call Immobilis my family. I think I have too many families now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's you having a community of people that you can go back to and actually ask questions, be it via the community channels that have been created, and always know you have a place to go back to. And volunteering is a great experience because I look at it in this way. I learned so much as a volunteer, and all this helped me to grow. I even look at the whole experience of being part of the Digital Opportunities Trust program by Kenya. It was all you have to do is volunteer, come for sessions, and you learn so much. So basically, as a volunteer, you get to learn, and you don't need the monetary compensation. You just need to know that at the end of it all, I'm growing as an individual, I'm gaining skills. So I always say you gain skills, tools, and resources to help you grow as an individual, which is the most important thing that anybody can ask for. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. And I like how you're very passionate about, including women in this tech events, tech opportunities. So how do you think, like as per now, how do we get more women interested in tech? Because that's a very big issue. I mean, even when you go to university, you'll find that in a class of maybe 30 computer science students, maybe less than 10 are female. So how do we get more ladies, more girls interested in the tech field?
I say the best way to get them interested in the tech field is to get them involved. You cannot have there's no way you're going to have a conversation about women in technology without the actual women involved. And look at it in this perspective. Programs like Women Tech Makers, they work towards increasing the visibility of women in technology. But ask yourself, if these programs are not led by women for women, then how exactly are we involving them? Another way to get them involved is often at times you go into, even as a software engineer, I've worked into various companies, and you find that you're like only, let's say, 4 ladies in the whole team, which does not make sense. In a team of 20, why should I be only 4 ladies? And the reason you're being hired is because they need to seem as though they're diverse in a way. So whenever you're employing, also have at the back of your mind, have a growth mindset. Like the same way this gentleman can learn is the same way these ladies can also learn. So it's a whole learning process for all of us. So engage them. And when it comes to even holding tech events, don't have a male-centric, like don't have only the male gender as your speakers, and then let's say you have the ladies as volunteers or something of the sort. Have them involved also in the speaking sessions. Have them making an appearance, reaching out to people. My favorite thing that I always like saying is we as women and anybody else, we draw inspiration from other women, from seeing what other women are doing. So yesterday, I will not lie, I was going through Ruth Kaveke's profile and I'm like, this is something, this is so inspiring that I think Joy B by now may have gotten me sneaking into her LinkedIn profile at all times. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is like, it's so good to see. And all the other speakers, truth be told, the moment I got the speaker list, I was like, I have to know what these other ladies are also doing. So we derive inspiration from seeing what they're doing. And it's good to share their stories also. Give them a platform to share what they've accomplished with the hope that maybe more women are going to be drawn into the tech space. Because we all know this is a male-dominated field.
True. Because I think there's also something I remember from the Remarkable session, whereby there's a statistic that says that, women, we want to have the 100% requirements. But for men, once they meet 60%, they go ahead and apply. So is it a mentality that us as women, we want to be perfect? Or, what is with us as women that we want 100%? But for men, 60% and they're good to go ahead and apply for that job.
So this is actually a fact. It's proven, and it's just like it's who we are in a way. We are perfectionists. Most women are perfectionists. So you will not find a woman who wants to like go into like deep dive into a career path if they don't feel like they have fully qualified for it, they have the right skills for it. So we tend to try more, but for the gentleman, it's just so long as I always say even 60% is too much to give them. Let's just say 40%. So they just want to feel like, okay, I have clicked this, I have this and this in check, so I can actually pursue this. So it's more or less us to change our mindset, us to be more accepting, and us to realize that you don't need to be 100% to actually be employed in a patent place. You just need to have an understanding about how, let's say, the company works, how the architecture works. Just have the basic fundamentals, and then you will learn. It's all a learning process, even for the gentlemen. They go in because they know it's a learning process for them. So why don't we also embrace the same thing?
Yeah. Very true. I agree with those sentiments because, I mean, we're all learning in this. You might know this, you might know the other thing. Collaborating and teamwork is always very important.
Exactly.
So I'd like just to see if there's some few questions on the chat box. I can see here Lemiso asked, hi Allela, you said you are a gaming tutor. What languages were you using and the relevant text editors? Help me here. Thank you.
So let me just clarify what I said. I say I loved gaming. I wasn't a gaming tutor. When I went into gaming, I was teaching the children of Kibera and Kengemi how to use a tool called Scratch. It's very basic. It's just I'd say it's more or less for kids, just getting kids interested. And so if you ever want to just get kids to learn more about how to create games for themselves, more so during this whole global pandemic, you have online resources. Just teach them how to drag and drop. Very basic. You don't need to teach them something in depth. So for me, Scratch was the tool. And it's not a programming language. It is just getting them drag and drop components, them just seeing a ball being kicked, somebody else catching it, a car moving from one side to another. So it wasn't anything complex. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that clarification. So I think there's someone who was asking about the volunteering aspect.
Yeah.
So for how long do you need to volunteer? I think, I mean, do you give yourself a duration? Or like some people are saying about volunteering doesn't have a span. I have seen people who have volunteered for 5 years while working a 9 to 5 at a company.
Okay.
And what are some of the platforms that you can volunteer in?
Sorry, let me just so the thing about volunteering is it does not have a time limit. If you still feel like this is something that you're learning from, you volunteer. I think you can always volunteer. You can always be a volunteer so long as it's fulfilling to you, so long as you're learning from it. Just look at it as I am learning from this experience. They may not absorb me today, but they may think of me. Look at it. I was volunteering for the GDG program. Did I know I was going to get accepted at some point? No. I always knew my path was going to be into software engineering. I had never thought of myself as working in the community that actively, other than from the volunteering aspect. So even if you're going to be volunteer, don't look at the end result like I'm going to be absorbed or I'm doing this so that I get absorbed into a company. Do it because you're passionate about it. I always say, let your passion be the drive. So if you're passionate about what you're doing as a volunteer, go ahead and do it. And also, you don't have to be a volunteer full time. Look at volunteering as something you can do during your free time or when you feel the need to do so. So it doesn't have to be on a 24/7 basis also. Yeah.
So can you share some of the platforms that you can volunteer? And someone has just asked that, especially for techies.
Yeah, okay. So Maureen, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna ask you to first state the region to make my answer more leaning towards what you're saying. So if you're able to share that on the chat section, kindly.
Okay, no problem. Well,
Yeah.
she's just typing that.
Okay. Okay, Billy's from Kisumu. Maureen? Maureen is from Nairobi. Okay. So for Nairobi in particular, from a tech perspective, there's so many communities. We have the GDG Nairobi community. We have the Flutter community. We have Android 254. We have so many programs that you can volunteer into. So there's GDG Nairobi, Women Tech Makers Nairobi. We have Android 254, which is basically an Android group. We have the JS JavaScript group in Nairobi. We also happen to be having the Flutter group that just started out. So these are communities that you can actually plug into. And the easiest way to get them is most of them are already on Meetup. So just go into Meetup, create an account, and then, or even, you don't even have to create an account, just search for tech communities around you. And you're able to get which ones you can plug into. So use those as platforms for you to also interact with people and to also volunteer to help out. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think I just have one last question.
Yes.
Could you tell people how they get to know about the opportunities at Google, either the various programs that you guys run, or you want to be employed at Google? How do I apply for this? I think that's a question that most people might have.
Okay, so everything.
Opportunities.
So everything that you hear about opportunities at Google, they're all available on their official Google website. All ads are done there about jobs, about opportunities. Also, always subscribe to the blog. Like, always look at the blog post. Like yesterday, we just announced the Google Africa Developer Scholarship Program, and the first place it was put is on the blog, on the Google for Africa blog. Sorry, I'll have to speak more about the Google Africa Developer Scholarship Program because I'm sure most people would benefit from it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
true.
just look at the official site, follow the Twitter channels. It's always online. It's more online than offline. Because rarely will I come to tell you that there's an opportunity here if it's not yet online. So just look out for the online platforms. Yeah. Uh, so about the
Okay.
Google Africa Developer Scholarship Program, it's basically supposed to equip people across Africa with materials, learning materials. So we're currently having a partnership with Pluralsight and Andela to get learners to have content on mobile web, Android, and cloud. So if you feel like you need to learn more about this, then I will be sharing the link. Just feel free to apply. It's a free program. You'll learn so much if you ever want to be a software developer. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. That's very important. Can you share the link on the chat section for guys to check it out
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually I'll be doing so in a sec.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Sadiq. I've also seen you've shared a link on the meetup link, the 400 254. Thank you for that. And yeah, that's great. So I can see there are no other questions on the chat section. So thank you so much, Allela, for joining us on this part. We'll still be having you on the Q&A session at the very end. So
Okay.
thank you so much for sharing with us. And also, oh, Twitter names. So the participants are asking for your Twitter names. So kindly just drop your Twitter name on the chat section so that they're able to tag you when they are, tweeting on the social medias. So kindly, all panelists, just drop your Twitter handles and other social media handles. So yeah, thank you, Allela.
Thank you so much for having me, too, Claire. Bye.
Yeah, see you at the very end when you're doing the Q&A.
Great.
So
Looking forward.
next up we'll be having Tabitha. We'll be doing that at around 10:20. So we can have a social media break. Just tweet whatever you've learned from Allela and Joy. If you still have any questions, kindly just do that at the chat section. I can see, Hazel, you have a question. Alila didn't answer some volunteering opportunities in other communities. So at least just give her time. She'll either reply here or at the very end. So that's fine. So keep your questions coming in. We have 3 more panelists that we are yet to speak to. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're able to join with no issues. In case you have any questions, drop it here and we'll have the Q&A at the very end. So let's give our next speaker, Tabitha Kavyu, some few minutes, and we'll have her immediately at 10:20. Now you can just tweet and share what you've learned with others. Thank you. So in case you're joining us, we have just had a conversation with our first two panelists, Joy B and Denise Allela. So after the break at around 10:20, in 3 minutes time, we'll be having Tabitha Kavyu. So for now, we're just tweeting and sharing the conversation online. Remember, the hashtag is Girls in ICT. The Twitter handles and the Instagram handle, Facebook handle is on the screen. You can also tag at immobilis_tech on Instagram. Keep the conversation going online. And in case you have any question or issue, for now we have the chat section. Our panelists are online, they will answer to it. And in case of anything, our co-moderator is also here to help you. So let us know in case there's any audio or visual issue, please do let us know. Hi, Tabitha. Hi, Tabitha. Can you hear me? Tabitha. Tabitha, can you hear me? Tabitha, can't seem to hear you. Tabitha? Okay, are you guys able to hear me on the chat section? Participants, panelists, can you hear me? Mhm. Tabitha? Okay. Then I'm not sure. Okay, great. So let me see if I can request Tabitha to just turn on her video and audio because she's the next speaker going up. Tabitha, are you with us? Or should we move to another speaker, then we'll get back to you? Okay, she seems to have gone off. So let me see if we can get another speaker to just go now. So Ruth, can we have you? Are you online with us, Ruth?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think Tabitha wants to go up next, but she was having an issue. She wants to rejoin. So we can have Tabitha, then Ruth will be next. It's okay. Thank you. Okay, she's back. So let's see.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry about that.
No problem. How are you this morning?
I am well.
Excited for this webinar?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So let's just dive right in. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do and just tell us more about yourself.
Right. Okay. Once again, hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. My name is Tabitha Kavyu. I am a computer science student at the University of Nairobi. I'm in my third year, second semester. I'm also the Developer Students Club lead at the university. I'm sure you see, and if you don't know about DSC, they're basically student technology. And I'm a remarkable facilitator. I had you mentioning about a first influencer in Kenya.
Yes.
Every time I'm talking about myself, I love give back to the community. People are really talking about volunteering. That is something that I really, really love doing, and something I really learned from Camille. I'll be talking about in a few minutes.
Someone is saying that you're not so clear. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Can you hear Tabitha as the participants? Are you able to hear her? Yeah, just let us know so that we don't move on and you cannot. Oh, I think you're breaking. I'm not sure if it's the internet or you have your earphones on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Okay, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. So I think one thing I'd like to ask, so how do you get in this, these tech events, these tech programs, like in school, you said the DSC lead. Can you just speak more about that for those who don't know what DSC is, they don't even know how to join. So just, speak about how you get involved in the tech events that you do.
Okay, I hope you can hear me clearly by now. So how do I get involved in this tech events? So I'd say it also started back in school. When you're in campus, you try to find yourself, trying to find avenues where you can do and make. Sharon is there. Like when I was in my first year, I guess she was in her fourth year, and I would see them doing amazing thing in school, like in the communities, trying to bring women into tech, having different tech meetups, joining and help. And I'd say that's how my journey really started, like learning it from trying to volunteer here and there around the city. And that's how you get to know about this community. We have applications like meetups where you get to see the tech events around you. So they keep me posted about what is happening here. So and about because there's a DSC lead, and like I said, I used to attend this event. So it's a Google initiative, and you actually get to apply
So when Tabi should apply, like you've been doing so, and I think you can actually do this. So I was like, okay. At first I was really scared. I'm like at my second month, that did not stop me from applying.
There's some background noise. I'm not sure.
I went to TV. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So I applied around August. I got to be selected as lead. That was the beginning of an amazing as a lead in tech, because I've really gotten to grow from my program manager. Yeah, the program you had DSC. You can be sure we can let you know more about this. Yeah, they are basically wherever we organize meetups, events together, have speakers, practical and theory. Yeah, theory and practical skills. Yeah.
Okay, great. You mentioned about Remarkable. Could you kindly just speak more about it so that you can know what is Remarkable, who can join, how did it help you?
Okay, so I fascinated by the fact that most of the things that I'm in are a result of me, and I'm actually here. So I got to attend the first tech event. I went to Eldoret, and I attended Edith's session on Remarkable.
Yeah.
And after doing the survey, you're like, interested in becoming one. I'm like, I don't opportunities. So and so basically what I'm remarkable. And so one of the rules and one that was discovered is that women we tend to speaking about our achievement from speaking of what that is basically self-promotion and trying to help people recognize the abilities, making you be able to be confident about speaking of what you can do and really marketing yourself out there, because I mean we are able to do, we just tend to shy back or feel people talk about imposter syndrome. Most of the time, no, I cannot do this. Oh, I feel like people are going to discover me. I feel like I'm a fraud. Oh no, I don't. But then through I'm remarkable. You get to it's bragging. It's not bragging. It is based on fact. Like I mean, if you're good, you're good. You get. So I'm remarkable. It's like a underrepresented groups and underrepresented. It's not only for women, because we still have guys who feel like they're shying away from speaking about their accomplishments. They really don't know how to self-promote themselves. So that's all these areas, and it's a nice I'm conversation wherever, because it's all of us need to exercise the skill of speaking about ourselves, and our accomplishments.
Thank you so much for that. So can you tell people maybe how to join, or just put a link down below if someone wants to be a facilitator or actually join in a session?
Oh yeah, sure. Can share the link.
That's great. Okay. And then in your introduction, you also said something about being you're a mentor at Tecknogalz, right?
Yeah.
Could you kindly just speak more on that? Tecknogalz, how did you get to be a mentor? You know, what do you do as a mentor? What is your work as a mentor?
So once again, I became a mentor because I went to a place and there was someone who was in charge of this innovation, and you're like, oh Tabi, I hear the amazing things you do in your community back in school. There's this program called Tecknogalz, once it's out, I would like you to find ladies for me and people to join in as mentors, because it's basically like empowering girls thing. And I'm like, for the longest time, I've been wanting to advocate for visibility of women in the tech field. And I'm like, how do I get to start? How do I make an impact as a woman in the tech field to bring more people? And I saw Tecknogalz as our platform and a way to do this, because we get to train young people to be able to solve problems using technology. And so high school students. So I was like, this is a really good way to start, because it's teaching, like sharing the knowledge that I have, sharing with other people, and later on these people become good people that also share the knowledge they have with other people. So that's how I got to apply people. We got to join in. So we are basically put in with a team of girls, help them throughout the whole process of finding, identifying a problem in the community, and how design thinking, and how eventually they can use technology to build an application that can help solve the problem. Yeah, so we're doing so well, but then unfortunately because of COVID, and all this stuff, so we're not really able to continue. But it's been really a good experience connecting with the girls and being able to mentor, sharing the knowledge that I've been mentored once. Really nice for me to be able to share, to pass on my knowledge to other young people, so that girls can actually feel like it's not only a men thing. We have ladies who are actually thriving in the tech field, and they can be able to do it.
Great. Yeah. So how does one become a mentor? Is there a process? Is there an application form in case someone here would like to be a mentor?
Also, because it happens every year. So basically, I shared just like other normal events. So a link is shared. You get to apply, show your interest, and then you get feedback from them if you're taking it, because it's more like a volunteering thing.
Okay.
It's you sharing out. So if you're willing and interested to get into it, then you apply, and then you get feedback from the team.
Great. That's great to hear. So
what's up the link next year?
Oh, okay. So I've just heard you speak about Kamilimu, and something very coincidentally unique about most panelists here have been in Kamilimu. Yourself, Joy, and Beth, you all are Kamilimu alumni. So kindly just speak more about Kamilimu and how it helped you.
Yeah, so Kamilimu mentorship program. I got to learn about Kamilimu from people who are in Kamilimu, and I was like, Sabi, you should join this. So it's an 8-month program for students who are in technology or are interested in technology. So the main idea about Kamilimu is, let's say, it's adding on to the knowledge that you have in school, because like you mentioned, there are some things lecturers won't teach you. They won't teach you how to write a CV. They won't teach you about personal development. They won't teach you about professional communication. Things you need to figure them on your own. But then Kamilimu, that's why Kamilimu teaches you how to do all these things. And I'm really glad that I got to be part of Kamilimu in my school period. I'm still in school, but I'm really glad I got to it first. And it's been an amazing 8 months learning, because you're connected with people from different universities, and all of you sit in one place to learn. And you see, when great people meet together, there are different ideas, so you get to learn a lot about people. And through Kamilimu, I've been able to learn about personal development, professional communication, innovation skills, design thinking skills, and also community involvement. I'd say my volunteering started from Kamilimu, because what Kamilimu does basically in one of its pillars, it's connecting you to events and putting you out there as volunteers, like signing you up as volunteers to attend a tech event, helping out in doing stuff. And that is how I realized this is where I fit in. So I think that's how people got to know me, because I will really get every volunteering opportunity for tech event. You will find me there. And I feel like provided a way of me growing as a person, and also my network with people and wanting to. So yeah, Kamilimu has been amazing. It emphasizes a lot on feeling, or you feel like not really good. I mean, Kamilimu, and also speaking about your achievements. I mean, because I came to realize that at times we tend to shy away. Like, I will also be scared. I wouldn't even want to tell people what I've been able to do. But then Dr. Chow, who is the founder and our mentor, used to be interested on, like, speak about as small as it is something. Own it. It's your what you're able to do. Don't be intimidated by any other person's achievement. Instead, it should, and also it should inspire you to become a better part of your own achievements as a person. So Kabilimu has been really got to apply in my DSC journey. Yeah. So Kabilimu has really helped me a lot, and I would really recommend Kabilimu.
Okay, that's really great. And I can see you also featured on the article for NTV last year. So congratulations on that. You were able to speak about, what you've done, what you're doing, and you talked about a team of developers called Local Men. Could you just kindly share more insight about that? Yeah, and why is it local men, not local men and women, local, local people?
So I don't really know where the name originated, but it really came. So what really happened is one time Juma Alan, I don't know if you guys know Juma Alan. I'm sure you probably know Juma Alan, the Android guy. So he told me sometime, oh, there's a Deaf Fest in Eldoret. He's the one who made me go to the Deaf Fest Eldoret. Like, Tabi, there's an event at Eldoret, maybe we can go. I'm like, oh yeah, why not? So we went. And I didn't know. So there's a team of us that found ourselves there, and it was really nice, like going out of Nairobi, because you're used to going to events only in Nairobi, but this was different because you went to a different place. And that is how it all started. That people started reaching out to us, like wanting us to show up in different towns to maybe just speak about hearing stories of these people, what they have done, as a way of inspiring other young people to get in. I think that grow because Juma Allen, Monica, and hearing about what these women have done, like hearing Monica has been speaking in events, and I'm like, there, I'm hanging out with these people. So it's really served as a motivation for me to also, like, you can't walk around with people who are doing great and you're not doing great. Like, what are you doing? So it's really motivated me. And look at me, here I am. Like, I think I'm one of the youngest speaker here. Like, sometimes I'm not.
Yes, you probably are. Yes.
This group really played a big role, and that's the beauty of community, getting yourself into a team of people who have the same goal, people who have the same interest with you. And then you get to learn what these people do, and a lot from people. I think my whole life, I just believe in learning and getting inspired from other people's story. And yeah, so a big shout out to the local men for the amazing people they are. Yeah, I can see Juma.
So let me ask, local men, how many are you? How many ladies and how many gents are you in that developer group?
Okay, it's not really. I wouldn't say it's really like a developer. Okay, we are developers. I wouldn't say like it's like a community. It's just like a team of friends. A team of friends who just like together, sharing our own ideas and so. How many are we at? We're not so many, like around 10, but we still have more people joining in because you cannot really exclude other people who want to grow, people who want to be part of the community, because we don't know where this thing will go, but it just started out as a team of friends. Things we have, and a number of ladies. I think we're around 7 or 8 ladies, and also the same for the guys. It's like a more equal ratio. Yeah, so we're all represented there. Yeah, so like an official team.
I can see from the comment section, Monica 23.
What?
On the comment section, Monica has just stated 23.
Okay. Oh, we're 3?
23. You're 23.
Oh, yeah. I started out as like 5 people, but then you go out, meet people who want to join in, and yeah. So basically, great. It's also like a community on its own.
Yeah. And so Dick is also joining you, so you'll be 24. So that's great.
Yeah. Yes. It can only be virtual unless he wants to come together.
Yeah, so I really like what you've shared. You've really shared a lot of things that you've done, and Red is still at your end. So I mean, just share your advice to people who want to start out in the tech field. I mean, sometimes they find it difficult just to dive into all these things. So what would be your advice to people who want to start out but are not really sure, how do I really start out venturing into this tech field, especially to young ladies who are not sure? Did you hear my question, Tabitha? Tabitha, are you still with us? Tabitha? Tabitha, are you still with us? I'd just like you to share. I'd just like you to give us your advice on young ladies who want to start out a career in tech. What they can do, little or big, how they can start off. Tabitha, I can't hear you. I can see you've just commented, but no, I can't hear you. I think you muted yourself, if I'm not wrong. I think she's trying to reconnect. Let's just give her some few minutes. Okay, yeah, you're back.
I could not hear you. I don't know what happened. Sorry. So you're asking me to, yeah.
Yes.
Just my advice to young people.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe my first advice would be to the young ladies, because we are celebrating girls in ICT, and I'd really love to encourage the young women out there, the young girls who are maybe feeling like, the tech field is dominated by men only. I mean, I want to tell you that we have women who are doing well. You've heard about the few presenters who have told us about their stories, and there are many more of them. And I think one of the problems is finding role models like women who have really done well. That's one of the things that the young people really lack. But there are there. So I guess one thing I'll strive to do is finding someone or look who have done that's able to do, like if Allela can do it, why not me? If Tabi, who is still a student, is able to achieve, someone can do it and you can do it better. And then I guess it all starts from believing in yourself and being confident of what you're able to do, and not really shying away, because listening to what people say, oh, no, I can't join in. Let me just go and do nothing. Let me just go and do accountancy, tech field. It just has its own people. No, I mean, a woman or a girl is able to thrive in this field just as much as a guy can do. You need to have the right attitude, the right mindset, and then have people around you who are able to push you and motivate you to become a better person. I really committed to something. You do not need anyone to push you. The vision pulls you. So this goes out to everyone. If you're starting or you're still in the tech field, and sometimes you feel like, oh no, it's really getting hectic or something. But if it is really something that you want to do, then you don't or anything. The vision pulls you. So it depends what your goal is. Like, maybe you want to build something, or you want to see, like for me, I would really want to see like a 50-50 representation of men and women in the tech field. And I'm like, this really pushes me to want to be there, to really like be an inspiration to the young people, and showing people that actually we can do this, and we as young people are capable of succeeding in the tech field. So and one thing we all need to fight is the imposter syndrome. I think it's really a controversial topic. So just believe in yourself and what you're able to do. Put your mind in the game. Then that key consistency. Yes, if you start out on doing
Yes.
something, I mean, we tend to
Mm-hmm.
we tend to how do you call it, drag a bit, or sometimes even give up.
Mm-hmm.
When you are consistent, then it's, yeah, but when you are consistent, it really plays a big role in making you grow, and you when you see yourself continue grow. I mean, our program manager Awal told me one time that the key to growing is not accepting that you have grown. I mean, if you do not accept that you have grown, it really pushes you to keep growing, because you're like, oh no, I've not yet really grown. I am still trying to grow. So keep
Yeah.
growing yourself, interacting with people, put yourselves in communities. I mean, like they've really mentioned communities where you can tap
Yeah.
into, contribute, or
Mm-hmm.
volunteer. So get yourself involved in these things. Put yourself out there. That's the word. Put yourself out there, because people will not
True.
know you from the house you stay in. People will not know you that you're a web developer and you just stayed in your house. Put yourself out there. Tell people about your communities and do all these things for yourself, because it's only you. It will come from within, and you are able to do it if you put your mind to it. Yeah.
True. That just reminded me something from I Am Remarkable. Your compliments do not speak for themselves. So you need to speak out, do it, and say what you've done. So that's really great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much
And
for your
I really want to say a big thank you to Allela, because she will tell me,
yeah.
we had a conversation, and she will tell me, oh, Tabi, as you can see, we really have a gap of women who are speaking
Mm-hmm.
at events. Like most of the time, you find it's only guys who are speaking
True.
at this tech event and stuff like that. And she'll be like, women, we should also put ourselves out there and speak, so that people can actually see women can actually do it. Like, it's not only a guy who knows JavaScript, not only
Yeah.
a guy
True.
who knows Android. I mean, when I was able to come, like, that was really a big step for me. And it's these people who keep encouraging you.
Mm-hmm.
They push you to become better versions of yourself. So find yourself people who can push you to become a better person. Yeah.
That's really good. You have really inspired many people. I can see on the comment section, everyone is very inspired. People are sharing different things, and just your point of putting yourself out there, they've really resonated with that. So let me see if there's any question for you. Maybe you can just take one. Let me see if there is any question. Is there any question? Mm-hmm. Okay, just say great work, inspiring. You've really inspired guys. Thank you for that, Tabitha. Okay, so then I think we'll do a Q&A at the very end, but we are really honored to have you, and thank you so much for that. We'll reconnect at the very end at around 11:30. Thank you, Tabitha.
Welcome.
In a few minutes, we'll be having our next speaker, and that's Ruth Kaveke. So we'll be ready to, hear from her what she's done. So let's just take like 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll be back with Ruth. For now, remember our Twitter handles, Mobigals, and there's also Immobilis Tech. One of the co-moderators had shared on the comment section. So kindly just tag those handles, and also the speakers had shared their timelines. Sorry, they had shared their social media handles as well. So kindly tag them as well as you continue to tweet, as you continue to post on Facebook and Instagram, and let's keep the conversation going. So we have 2 more speakers, and then we'll have a Q&A session whereby you can be able to actually speak and direct your question to any of the panelists. So let's just give the next speaker 2 or 3 minutes, then we'll begin. So we're starting off with Ruth in a few minutes. So just give me 1 minute, then we'll start off with you, Ruth. I can see here on the comment section. So great. Naanza. So hi Ruth.
Hello, hi.
How are you? How are you this morning?
I'm very good. And I'm
Really good. Yes. Sorry, just continue.
Yeah, I was saying that I'm very happy to be part of this conversation and joining the amazing ladies who are doing very great stuff in technology. It's an honor to
Yes.
be here today.
And we're very honored to have you. So let's just start right away. Kindly just introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Okay, so I am Ruth Kaveke. I am a web developer. I'm also the co-founder and executive director of Tecknogalz, an organization that is based here in Mombasa, where we focus on equipping girls and young women from marginalized communities in STEM programs that we always do. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Tell us more about Tecknogalz, this company that you co-founded. What inspired you to be a lady techpreneur?
Okay, so Tecknogalz started way back when I was still at the university. I graduated in 2016, but before I graduated university, I really had a passion for coding. Initially, when I joined university, I could call myself a programmer, coming from like
Okay.
a very small town in Kurialand. I didn't know more about technology, so most of the things I could just figure out while I was still in the university. Though I did computer studies in high school, which I really liked. So when we were still studying in our class, we were very few girls there, approximately like 6 out of 60. And so as studies went by, I realized that most girls were very scared of coding. Like in our class, only two of us could pursue coding. But I was even frustrated more when I went for my internship in my third year
Yes.
in a very well established IT company. It was a web agency. So I really did my research on everything they did. So when I went there, I had like my projects built on all the platforms that they were working on, built on Joomla, a website built on Bootstrap, a WordPress built on both HTML, PHP, and also one that was built on WordPress. So when I introduced myself and my supervisor was like, okay, so let me see some of the work that you do. When I showed him like everything that I had done, he was shocked. Like he couldn't even hide his how he was shocked. He asked me like, oh, like, are you the one who did this or is your friends? Because I used to attend a lot of tech events and like all my friends were guys. So at some point he doubted my skill, which I was very disappointed. So I told him like, you'll be able to experience this or you'll be able to see my skill when I was still on the internship. So it was like as a woman in technology, I had to work extra hard as compared to
Yeah.
other my colleagues. But even towards the end of my internship, I was very good that I was even able to be given some of the work to do. So when I went back to the university, I shared with the other 6 young ladies. I told them, okay, ladies, like if I'm very good in coding and this is what I can experience, how about some of you ladies who are not even able to code? You are scared. Outside in the market, things are very different. So I really don't want you to go outside there, get disappointed. I want to volunteer to be training you on how to code. And you know, in the university, they people always have a lot of free time. So it started very well. I also talked to some of my co-founders who luckily were in the same university, so we could meet, discuss, teach ladies how to code. And then we decided, okay, let's tell the world what we are doing. We started sharing our work on Facebook, our work on Twitter. So we found that there are also some ladies in different universities in Mombasa who wanted actually to be part of the community. So we had to move from our university to go to like a central place in Mombasa where we could train these girls. So that's basically like a brief overview of the journey, how Tecknogalz started. We volunteered a lot to do technology events. Like for example, we are the core team that doing Technovation in Mombasa, so we could volunteer a lot to do Technovation in Mombasa. Like, and some of the projects like Mombasa Girls in STEM, Africa Code Week, Jungle Girls. But it reached a point as an organization. Remember when I co-founded Tecknogalz and the director, I was still a university student. I didn't have networks. I didn't know like big and well-established people. So for me as a director and the team leader, one of the things that I could leverage on is the power of social media. So I kept sharing the work that we do, not knowing that whatever I was sharing was attracting like-minded women, like-minded people who are really passionate to support us. So that one really helped us to grow. But it reached a point I wanted Tecknogalz to go beyond some of these events that we could do, some of us going to training high school students. I wanted us to sustain ourselves beyond grants, beyond funding, or beyond any donation that we receive. So I led my team to start coding classes. So since all of us are developers, I'm a web developer. In my team, we have a co-founder who is a mobile developer as well, and my core team members are all into developing and in technology. We decided to start coding classes. Since the community already knew what we were doing, we started affordable coding classes to students, where students pay to learn both web development, Python programming, mobile development. But on the process, I was very disappointed because, not in a bad way, but some of the girls that I worked with, especially in some of the programs I went to high school, from very humble background, could not afford our classes. Because like in our website development classes, 10,000 per month, the course runs for 3 months. So you find that it's 30K. Someone has finished high school, she's not performed well, she's from a very poor family. Like for me, since my passion was to help these young girls to achieve or to be able to be part of technology, like we decided when we have 5 students who pay, we support 2 girls to learn for free. So this helps some of the girls who are not able who are not able to afford our classes be able to get into the program and able as well to get some of the employable skills that we teach.
That's really great. I mean, you've even delved into the challenges that you have faced as Tecknogalz. I like how you've said, you realize that some people couldn't pay their fees and you're able to start that, first 5 people pay for one, which is very good. I also wanted just to find out, maybe, is there any other challenge you faced as a co-founder, especially you being a lady in tech? Maybe you've gone to a partner organization and they turned you down just because they thought maybe you're a lady, or any unique challenge you faced?
Okay, so for me, one of the challenge, which is a bit funny, when I was starting, I was very, very small. Like I didn't have like a big body. I was not that tall. Yeah, so I was
Okay.
really doing amazing work with Tecknogalz and my team. And you find
Mm-hmm.
that many people are really interested even to meet me. Some were
Mm-hmm.
very interested even to partner with Tecknogalz. But I
Mm-hmm.
remember there was a time I was invited to a Women in Tech event in Nairobi. I'll not mention the name. So when I went there, the director was very passionate and very, and she was actually looking forward to meet me. So when I met her, because she was part of the team like organizing
Mm-hmm.
the entire event, she was a bit busy. So she introduced me to her team member who is in charge of, I think it's part of training and partnership. So she directed her
Uh-huh.
to me and told her to come and speak to me. Actually, by the time she was coming to speak to me, she didn't know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So this lady came with her phone. She was not paying attention to what I'm speaking. And at the
Mm-hmm.
end, like now her boss called her. So have you spoken to Ruth? You know, she's the director of Tecknogalz. It's one of the amazing organizations doing great stuff in Mombasa. We really want to work with them. We like Ruth to mentor our girls. I could really tell on her look. At some point, maybe she felt that maybe she's going to meet a different person. Here she was meeting
No,
a very
okay.
young girl. And then actually she even had to apologize. I thought like it's very fine. So one of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest challenge I experienced when I started is like people had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of expectations about my work, but when they could
Mm-hmm.
actually see me physically, they were like, "Oh no, you're very young. You can do this." Yeah, so that's one of the challenge. The other
Uh-huh.
challenge is being in an ecosystem in Mombasa, where
Uh-huh.
it's a very religious town. You find that
Mm-hmm.
girls and boys totally don't meet. So you
Mm-hmm.
find that even very few girls are venturing into technology. But one thing
Yeah.
that I really like with the community is that they put their girls first in education and all that. So when we could go to some of these school visits, we could be able to reach out to girls who are a bit shy and all that. And also just having like very few young women coming out to speak. I think this is based on cultural perspective. You find
Yeah.
that when maybe I've graduated, and but this one comes especially when it comes to when some of the ladies get
Mm-hmm.
married. You find that they're not even able to come out and even be role model to the others. So it's very hard for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you find that we mentor like many young girls and young women, but as they like life change, maybe some get married,
Mm-hmm.
you find that it's
Yeah.
very hard to come and give back to by mentoring, because we want to create like an ecosystem whereby after we mentor some of these girls, we give them these skills, they're able to introduce them to the other skills as well.
Okay. That's great. I can see the passion that you have towards your program. So I just like to ask, in the instance maybe you get an organization that is paying even better, would you be willing, to leave your own, something that you have co-founded and decide, let me
After
leave Polytechno and focus on this new job, try something new. Are you at any point in time, are you willing to do that?
Actually, no. Actually, I've gotten a lot of I've gotten a lot of offers from my friends
Mm.
working in different companies in Nairobi. Some tried poaching me from here to Nairobi, but what actually really inspires me, coming from a very humble background, I
Yeah.
really want to give back to the girls, especially from very humble background, because I believe with the skills that I
Yeah.
gained, I'm a self-taught website developer. As we all know, in universities, we're not being able to get like
Yeah.
practical. So whatever I do, my job, I self-taught
Mm-hmm.
myself. I could stay late until 4 a.m. just to gain these skills. So I feel
Yeah.
that they don't have to go to university. That's what I keep telling them. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to go to university for you to be a web developer, for you to be even a mobile developer. That is a perception. Very many people, even in our country, our community, have that. You have to go to university to succeed, and maybe you find that as a
Yeah.
girl, you come
True.
from a very humble background. You've not performed very well. Your parents cannot even afford a laptop. So I really want to give these girls hope to
Mm-hmm.
to be able to gain these technology skills and be able to get a decent job to sustain themselves, to help their families as well, do whatever they want to do using technology. So I feel by me
Yeah.
getting a job in Nairobi, I'm going to like dim some light on some of the girls who always look up to me, some of the girls that I could have through my networks, through my skills, I can give them an opportunity to move to the next level. So some of these girls actually inspire me. So
Yes.
very hard for me to get a job. Actually, yes.
Okay, but you are very remarkable. I think something that you missed out when you were introducing yourself, I mean, you didn't say that you're a Tech Women Fellow, that you've even published a book, She's a Techie, and you're also the Africa Code Week ambassador. I mean, you've done a lot of amazing things. Could you just speak to us about this book, She's a Techie? What is it all about? When did you write it?
Okay, so the book She's a Techie. I didn't have it in mind to write like a book. So since I've been my work has always been speaking for itself. I've always had like network even outside the country, from Germany, from the UK, from the US. So there is a publishing company based in Germany. They reached out to me. Initially they told me to do like a research paper. Okay, I told them like currently I've finished my undergraduate, I want to pursue my master's, so it's not something that I can put in the energy plus the time. 2019, like I really had a lot of projects to do throughout the year. So like I told them I'm not able to do it, but they kept insisting and told me like, Ruth, no, we are really inspired with the work that you do at Tecknogalz. Could you be able to put it in form of a book where the girls, not only in Kenya, will be able to read the book and get inspired to join technology and to do what you are doing in Mombasa and in Kenya. So I thought about it and I was like, okay, if it's a book sharing about my experience, inspiring other girls, why not? And one of the things that actually inspired me to write the book is giving girls from very humble backgrounds, like they can always achieve whatever they want in life. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter about your education. So I wanted to highlight some of the girls that I've worked with. I've worked with some of the girls even from when they were in high school. I've helped them after they've finished high school. They've joined our programs. We've trained them. They're now self-employed as website developers. Some have acquired jobs in different institutions in Mombasa. So through the book, I wanted to highlight the stories even from girls and young women in Mombasa. And also many girls and young women have always been reaching out to me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and also on email. They really want to learn how they can establish an organization based in their different regions, like Kisumu. They also want to establish others in Kisii, in Migori. So I thought it seems like I'm not even able to help all of them through the experience that I had, because when some of these young ladies reach out to me, I remember my experience when I was a student with no network. I didn't know anyone. So throughout my journey and how I've been able to acquire the networks and partners that we work at Tecknogalz, through the book, I wanted to give them an opportunity to learn. Like if you want to establish an organization like Tecknogalz or any other women in tech organization in any other parts of the country, some of the things that you need to do, who you need to approach, what you need to do so that you're able to achieve your goals. And one of my inspiration for the book is to inspire girls and young women to remain in STEM or to remain also in technology. You find that sometimes women, especially now when you move to the other side of life, you get married, you have kids, you find that some of women try to like drop from technology or do other things apart from technology. This is not only in Kenya, even in global, just to encourage other women that whichever stage of life you are, you don't have baby to live, whatever you have, you just have to do whatever you're doing because you are inspiring and mentoring other future girls and young women in technology. And also shared some of some of the things I've been able to do as an ambassador in Kenya through Africa Code Week, through some of the programs we ran. I also shared through the Tech Women, one of the Tech Women program that I participated in 2017 with Dr. Chow, who is also Dr. Chow was one of the participants in the program that we were selected. So I also wanted to show people. Also, when I was selected for the program, I was the youngest in the program. I couldn't believe sitting with Dr. Chow with the same platform. We could be addressed the same, given the same privileges. I had also some of the ladies. She was like Visa Sub-Saharan Africa. She was the lady in charge of all visa offices in Sub-Saharan Africa. And what really helped me to gain the opportunity was the work I do in Mombasa and how passionate I am. So I would really like to encourage ladies who are especially all the speakers who are really doing amazing work. That everyone is seeing whatever you are doing, and your work will always speak for yourself. It doesn't matter like your highest level of education. If there is any opportunities like Tech Women, always apply. You'll meet these remarkable women who've done great stuff, and you'll be able to work together. Yeah.
That's really great. Everyone in the comment section wants to know, how can we get this book? Like, you've said so much and you've been really inspired. We want our hands on this book. How can we get it?
Okay, currently the book is on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon, and also it's on the maybe I can share on the chat link. On the bookshop in Germany. But one thing that I realized, because it was published in Germany, and some of the people that I really want this book to reach to, some of the young girls in high school, at the university. So currently the book is around 25 USSD. That's around 2,500. So one of the things that I want to do, I want to republish it in Kenya, so that it's a bit affordable, so that more girls and more young women are able to afford it. But some who are able to get it, or some who are not in Kenya who are able to get it, you can get it on Amazon and through the link that I can share. But I'm really looking forward to publish it in Kenya and distribute it locally, so that it's very affordable for everyone.
That's really great. Congratulations on all these wins. We are here to support them and to say keep on, keep on. I remember during that time for Tech Women, I was a Kamilimu mentee, and I remember Dr. Chow just coming to present what you guys did. It was really amazing. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
So I'd just like you also to you spoke about Africa Code Week and that you're an ambassador. So just tell us how can we be involved, and what is Africa Code Week all about?
Okay, so Africa Code Week is an initiative by SAP company. So what the program does, every year in October, there is always workshops for teachers, for students to be able to learn how to code using a very simple program that Allela spoke about. It's called Scratch, where you find that both teachers and students are being trained on coding. It is always happening in Africa. Why? Because the program believes that equipping young kids and the youth in Africa, it gives them an opportunity to be able to be future tech inventors and future tech entrepreneurs as well. So the program, absolutely, it's free. During October every year, it depends on the country. So for in Kenya, I always recommend we do it on the first 2 weeks of October, because according to our education system, after the 2 weeks, the teachers get busy. But it's the first 2 weeks. We have different activities in different regions. In Kakamega, last year my team went even to Kisumu, Western, Busia, all those regions. And some of these activities are always online. And then there's always a lot of grants opportunities. Some of you ladies who are already doing some of the things to encourage more girls and young women, you can always look up to on the Africa Code Week website. Always like a month to October, there's always a lot of grants opportunity, you can always apply, and you can always reach out to me. I could connect you to some of the events, some of the programs. You could always volunteer.
That's amazing. That's really great. I've seen someone has already shared the link to the book, so thank you for that. Yeah. So you are really doing a great job, Ruth, and we are really inspired by your story. On the comment section, everyone is really happy to just hear your story. They're really motivated on what you've done so far. It's amazing. You continue to inspire young girls. You also are a digital skills trainer at some point. I mean, you've really
Yeah.
impacted the lives of many people, especially even in the Mombasa community. So you've really done a lot, which is amazing. And you continue to inspire so many people. Someone is even asking for an email or a number you can share so that they can be in the know in these tech events. So for something like Africa Code Week, how does one participate maybe to be a mentor, or they'd like to teach something? Is there a process that one can take?
Okay, so currently there is no any predefined process. When you
Okay.
go to the Africa Code Week website, there are always live events, and there are always
Okay.
like heads. Like you'd be able to get a specific number, a specific email to whoever is leading a session in different parts of the country. So wherever you are, if there is an event closer to you, you can always volunteer by always emailing or picking your phone and calling the number that is there. But if you're not able to reach some of the organizers as the lead Africa Code Week ambassador in Kenya, you can
Yeah.
always reach out to me. I could connect you with the right trainers so that you're able to do that. But for the people who are in Mombasa, we do a lot in Kisumu, Kakamega, Vihiga, and Busia. We can always get in touch. I've shared my email. Anyone can reach out
Okay.
to me, and I'm very happy to help and connect.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's really great. Let me see if you have any questions on the chat section. Does anyone have any question for her? Just I think one, then we can go to our last speaker. Then we can do the last round of Q&A with all our panelists. Maybe just one pressing question. Then we can move on to the next speaker. We can see one person. Maybe we can see if they have any question. But thank you so much for your insights, Ruth. You have done an amazing job, and you continue to do an amazing job. We wish you all the best with Tecknogalz. You have inspired many people. Even the men in the house have said they are really inspired. Or someone is asking if the organization is based in Mombasa alone.
Yes, we are based in Mombasa, but we always have programs in different parts of the country. It depends on the type of program. Like for example, last year we did our programs in Lamu, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa, and Nairobi as well. So I will recommend, if you're really interested in some of the activities that we do, you can always like our page, follow us on Twitter, and follow our activities on our website. You'll be able to see, and we'll be able to connect you so that you're able to join some of the programs that we do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ruth. You had such an amazing presentation. We thank you, and we'll be back with you shortly after the last speaker for our Q&A round.
Okay, thank you. Nice having me.
Okay. So we'll have our last speaker in about 2 or 3 minutes. Her name is Beth Wangari. She'll be our last speaker for today. After that, we'll have a Q&A session. So in case you have any questions, we can allow you to speak and, just address your question to any of the panelists. For now, we can have just a small or short social media break, and our handles are on the page that I've just shared, and others are to be shared in the chat section. Thank you so much. So we are back on. Her name is Beth Wangari. Beth, are you with us?
Hello.
Hi Beth, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
We are honored to have you as our last panelist for the day. Are you able to switch on your video?
Oh Jesus, no, not today.
Okay, fine. We will understand for today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just jump right in. Kindly introduce yourself and just tell us what you do.
Okay. So hi everyone. So my name is Beth Wangari. I work at Safaricom as a change management engineer and also participate in a program called Tecknogalz. And also, I think it's part of Safaricom Women in Technology. Yeah.
Okay, so first things first. Who is a change management engineer? I mean, what do they do? How do I become one? Is there a course I need to study? Just explain to us what is change management engineering.
Okay. First of all, I don't know if I should say it's a course because it's not a course that can be taught in school. I think
Yeah.
it's all about different certification that you can take for you to become maybe a change management engineer. I didn't know about that job until I left school and joined Safaricom. So it's not something that I've learned in school. It's not something that I've learned in Google or anywhere. So it's something that
Yeah.
I've learned at work. So it's what can I say? It's basically managing all the changes that happen in the technology division in Safaricom. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what I basically do: managing of changes from all our engineers. Yeah.
So all the changes come to you first before they're deployed.
Yeah. So maybe I can explain further. So Safaricom, being an organization, a brand, has what we call processes. I can see Sharon has talked about IT earlier. So we
Yes.
have processes, and being an ISO certified company, change management is one of the processes that a big company tends to have in order to manage all the things that happen in a company. So we want to manage everything that our engineers does in order to avoid downtime. Remember, each time we have a downtime as a company, it costs us, and it also costs the nation. So basically, our job is to ensure that all the changes before they are done in Safaricom network or before they are done to our partners, we vet the changes and ensure that we at least ensure there is minimal impact. Yeah. So it's like we give a go to all the changes that happens in Safaricom. Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting work to do. We've also talked about technovation. So can you just explain to us what is technovation? What is this technovation challenge that we always keep hearing about?
So first of all, it's something that was handed over to me by somebody called Miriam and Jema, and
Yes.
it's not like we are the founders of Technovation. So it's something that we are also learning and also trying to give our best. So
Yeah.
Technovation being one of the program under maybe let me first of all talk about Safaricom Women in Technology.
Okay.
So
Okay. Great.
under Safaricom Women in Technology, we have like about 4 to 5 programs. So the first program under Safaricom Women in Technology is called Kids Go Tech, followed by 4747. Then we have Technovation, we have Campus Outreach, and then we have the Technology Academy, and then we also usually have like meetups. I don't remember the name of the meetup. Yeah, but it's also a program under Safaricom Women in Technology.
Okay.
So Technovation being one of the program, it's basically what happened. It's a partnership between Safaricom and Iridescent. So what we try to do, we bring up high school girls, students, to compete in a global in a global competition. So it's like
Yeah.
telling our high school ladies, hey,
Uh-huh.
you don't have to be don't think of yourself as a local person, but think as yourself as a global person. Yeah. Putting yourself
Mm-hmm.
out there, knowing that I can also compete in the global space. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
can come up with solutions to our local problems and
Mm-hmm.
assist in making the world a better place. So
True.
basically what we do in Safaricom, being one of the programs, we are in 4 regions currently, 4 or
Yes.
5. So we are in Mombasa, where we are working with Ruth. We are
Mm-hmm.
in Kisumu, where we are working with Lake Hub, and we are also
Yes.
in Eldoret,
Mm-hmm.
Nairobi, Taita Taveta, and Nakuru.
Okay.
So basically, we pick schools around those regions,
Mm-hmm.
and we send emails to the high schools in those regions, and whichever school replies and says that we are willing to participate and give you our students, then we
Mm-hmm.
accept them in the program, and we assign them mentors. So for mentors,
Mm-hmm.
we ask anybody who is in campus, or you have finished campus and you want to give back to the society. So once you register in the form and you show like you're a person of interest, so we bring you in and we assign you to those schools, and you teach the girls on design thinking process, as Tabi has said. So you take
Mm-hmm.
them through how do they identify a real problem in their society, and as a team, how do we agree in the 4 of us, maybe we are 5, how do we
Mm-hmm.
agree in that one problem and come up with a solution to that problem? And even how do we pitch? So that's
Okay.
basically what
Yeah.
we do. And we ensure that the students and the mentors have done 100%. 100% for us is that the students have finished uploading everything that's required by Technovision.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have built the business plan, the pitch, the code,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So for us to be 100%, you have to have finished everything. And we also encourage people to sign up as judges in the Technovision site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So basically that's what we do.
So let me ask you, how long does this take? Like you've said that the student has to have a business plan. So for this particular high school, how long does it take for all this to happen?
Okay, Technovation starts early.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts at around October. But for us,
Okay.
because of the government policy and even the school policy, we can't do anything during that term. So we start
Okay.
everything on January. So January to around before the school closes on April, we make sure
Mm-hmm.
like we have done everything.
So basically, the presentations are in April.
The presentation, what do you mean by presentation? Like
How do they get to? Sorry.
we record the pitch, and the pitch are
Mm-hmm.
submitted to Technovision site. So afterwards,
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
Technovision that's going to do the judging
Mm-hmm.
and list who are the finalists for the year and who made it to the semi-final. So it's upon Technovision. But from
Okay.
Safaricom side, apart from that, since we also try to do like competition within the regions. So
Mm-hmm.
apparently this year we won't be able to do because of what has happened to COVID, but we are
Yes.
trying to push some of the schools and some of the ladies to at least submit their ideas to Technovision and
Mm-hmm.
have a global, at least try and make it to the final. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So is there maybe a site or somewhere one can sign up to be a mentor or a judge? Do you guys normally advertise that, or how do you go about it?
Okay, so this year we tried our best. So
Mm-hmm.
for this year, what we did for the mentors, we sent out a form for guys
Mm-hmm.
who are willing to participate as mentors,
Yeah.
depending on the region that you are in. But we
Mm-hmm.
find like regions where we have partnership between like Tecknogalz and Safaricom, we rely on Tecknogalz to give us mentors since they already have people who have already been trained. But for regions where we don't have like a partnership, we look for
Yeah.
guys like in Nakuru and yes, Nakuru and Nairobi. Since the rest of the region, at least we have some partnership, like in Eldoret, in Kisumu, we
Yeah.
have some partnership. But Nairobi and Nakuru, since we don't have any group that can offer us mentors, we look for them through applications.
Oh, okay, that's great. Could you kindly just share with us some of the amazing innovations that you've gotten from the girls?
Okay, so yeah, maybe I can try and should I say or should I let people wait until the final day of Technovation?
Oh, okay,
But
no, from the previous years.
so maybe Miriam,
Unless I grant her access to speak, or she can speak, right?
I'm not sure of, but we have seen students trying to come up with how do we solve a problem whereby we are having a lot of garbage waste in maybe in Nakuru. So you find students they try and come up, since they're also learning from the mentors who are in university about IoT and about machine learning. So you find like they can give ideas. Why don't you have smart bins that will do ABCD? So you
Yeah.
find them saying there's a lot of issue in breast cancer. How do we pass the information to the society? So it's basically coming up with application that will assist in solving those problems. Yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. So I could also see that you're an AWS certified cloud practitioner. Could you speak about that certification? What is it about? And how do you go about it if I want to be a cloud practitioner?
So basically, so my journey into cloud started when I joined Kamilimu. So it was the scholarship session, and Dr. Chow was basically telling us to apply a lot of scholarship, and I didn't know about how to go about scholarship application. So first of all, I'm a person who liked joining a lot of communities. So you find I'm in Women Who Code. I don't do local communities only. I do international communities. So I'm part of Anita Bii. I'm part of Women Who Code. I'm part of Women Who Cloud. I like to put myself out there. So being part of Women Who Code, they usually send out a newsletter and they tell you the different scholarship that they offer for people. So I don't remember when I saw that there was a partnership between Women Who Code and a cloud guru. So I decided to put myself out there and try that application. And thank God I got a lifetime scholarship to learn all about cloud. So
Congratulations.
using that site, I try my best to read as much as possible about cloud. So I decided to go with AWS after researching a lot about cloud. The reason why I decided to go with AWS is because it's a cloud platform that has been there. Yeah, it has been established. Okay, when you look at the duration compared to Google and Microsoft, Amazon has been there. Amazon Web Services have been there. So I decided, let me try and learn more about AWS. So I went to their Cloud Guru course. I did their courses. I had to look at the path that AWS recommends as a start on their certification. So I decided to try the first course, which is Cloud Practitioner. So basically, it gives you an overview on how cloud is and the technologies that are being used in the cloud and what you can do with cloud, and you get to understand what is this that people call cloud and why are people being told, hey, it's time for us to move to cloud. So that's why I started my journey from. Yeah.
Okay, that's really great. And when you were speaking about that, you also mentioned Kamilimu. And as I was saying previously, 3 people here are from a Kamilimu alumni. Could you just briefly just share, your journey in Kamilimu and how it helped you to reach where you are today?
Okay. So maybe I can start back off when I was in campus.
Uh-huh.
So for me, I went to Taita Taveta University.
Yes.
It's the only campus that is in the bush, in the reserve. So so we didn't have a lot of opportunities. So I'm so privileged to have worked with Ruth and seen Ruth starting with all the hustle, yeah. And I thank God that she mentored me because, I was in Taita, she was in Mombasa, but so once in a while I used
Okay.
to go to Mombasa to at least see what these guys are doing, and actually motivated me. So when I was in campus, because our school was not near like Nairobi, it was not near Mombasa, so you are only in a secluded place, us alone, and it was really tough because even the internet was not that good, but at least now the school developing at least is providing that internet. Yeah. So for me, I look at myself and see. I looked for mentors when I was in campus.
Yeah.
So my mentors were not only female but also male. Since it
Uh-huh.
is a well dominated male industry, so I took that opportunity to let male lead me to the right path. So guys would direct me, and for you to have guys to direct you, you really need to show them that you're passionate about what you're doing. Because some guys are like, hey, if you're not passionate, they can't push you. So it's you to push yourself, and they will assist you. That's the good thing
Yeah.
with guys. Yeah, they will assist you in whatever you want to do. So I remember when I was in campus, there was a guy called Lewis Kangede. And he used to tell me, Beth, there is this thing that is being done by Akira Chicks. There's so many companies that were doing great things out there. So I used to volunteer to those activities. Being high school being away from university being away from the Nairobi, so I used to make sure like once a semester or I attend an event, a technical event in Nairobi or in Mombasa, wherever, but at least a semester will not end without me attending an event. So attending events allowed me to interact with many people, learn from many people. I was not left behind. So one thing I've learned is for us to look for mentors who are going to guide you onto the right path and
True.
pushing yourself. So once I finished campus, I wondered what I'm going to do before I graduated. So I saw
Yeah.
this post about Kamilimu, and that's when I decided, let me join Kamilimu before I graduate and learn what is out there. And I thank God it's not opportunity that I can regret of. Since I
Yeah.
learned and I got to know many people and create good networks with many people. Yeah.
That's really great to hear that you were able to, as the mentorship really helped you to where you are today. And we celebrate your success there. Let me see if probably we have, one last thing. The one last thing I'd like to ask you is, you've shared so much, and I'd like you just to advise young girls who would like to start off their career in tech. What would be your advice to them?
So maybe my advice to them is you really need to push yourself and show that you are good. And you also need to give your best in everything that you do and have something that will make you stand out. And also look for mentors, people who can guide you. Doesn't mean like you need a female mentor. You can have a male mentor who is going to guide you in something. So I think
Yeah.
it's good if you have a mentor and you really push yourself and make sure in everything that you do, you leave a mark that people will always remember you.
Great. Thank you so much for that. I think we can now join, our panelists can now join in for the Q&A part. We can have that Q&A right now. So in case you have any question, this is the time to ask our panelists. Kindly just let us know if you have any question directed to any panelist. please let us know so that if you want to speak, we can grant access for you to speak right now. So just let us know if you have any question. You can see, Beth, you have a comment there, Taita Taveta alumni. So anyone who has a question and would like to speak, you can do that now. So someone is asking if there is any age limit to join Kamilimu. Who will take this up? Joy? So I think for them, what they want to understand, who can join Kamilimu. So Kamilimu can be joined by anyone in the 3rd year or 4th year and undertaking or pursuing a course in computer studies, a tech course, even engineering, in short, a field in STEM. So there's no age limit. You just need to be in campus, probably in your 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year, and pursuing a career in tech. So where do I start when joining tech world as a girl? Who can take up this question? One of our panelists. Remember, if you still want to speak, just let me know. You can request for audio and I'll accept. There's one question that had been asked above. Where do I start when joining tech as a girl? Who can take up that question among the speakers, kindly?
Hi, Claire. This is Joy. I can answer it.
Okay, great.
So I'd advise that if you want to join from whatever level, either from primary or university, the best way would be to get yourself a mentor, someone who is maybe a bit older or even the same age, but with more experience, especially in the tech industry, or even just slightly ahead of you, so that they can be able to guide you, which would be the best path to take. Also to go for a lot of meetups and do a lot of volunteering. Just like Beth has said, it's important for you to really go to a lot of events. That's where you get to meet people. That's where you get to grow your networks and also expose yourself to what's out there. So mentorship and events.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. There's another question here. My query.
Pardon?
My query, Ed has just asked, is ICT only about coding or does it entail other things?
I think I can check this up. So,
okay, thank you.
So Ed, there's so many other roles. ICT is basically just supposed to give you a foundation. And so you can consider roles like project management, quality assurance, analysis, data analysis. So don't constrain yourself to that. I'll be sharing an article on other roles. I found an article online on other roles that somebody who, yes, understands a bit of knowledge can actually partake, like other roles that you can think of. So it's not restricted to just programming. So let me look for it and share with you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. My query, let me see who else. Anyone else who has a question? Someone has asked about eligibility of Kamilimu. Can I ask one of the Kamilimu alumni, the speakers, Joy, kindly, could you just explain that kindly?
Okay. So Kamilimu is open to all students as long as you're above 18, whether you're pursuing a degree, a diploma, postgraduate studies, or even if you're not in an institution but you're still passionate about pursuing a career in IT or an IT-related course, you're welcome. You're eligible for Kamilimu. Applications usually go out in October of every year, around October, November. So applications are for mentees, for peer mentors, and professional mentors as well. So once you apply, we take about 1.5 months to review your applications, and then we get back to you. And then the mentorship cohort starts in January of every year up to October, after which you have a graduation. So more details you can get from the Kamilimu website. I'll just put the link again.
Okay, thank you for that. The next question. Working in big companies like Google and Safaricom, what are some of the challenges you face? Okay. Malela, you can take up this one for Google.
I think I'll let the Safaricom team start with theirs first. They'll figure out some of the top
Okay,
challenges.
let's have Beth answer the question for Safaricom then.
Okay. I think I'll talk on my bit and then Joy can explain on the other side of tech of
Okay.
Safaricom. So on my end, it's a great opportunity. First of all, it's a great opportunity, and you get to learn the current technologies that are coming up here. So before other companies start using the technology, so we find ourselves like at least we are at par. Yeah. So
Yes.
some of the challenges that we face, that's hard to answer. So far from my end, because I deal a lot with people, and you know how dealing with people sometimes can be hard. So maybe, okay, I don't know how to answer that, depending on your role that you are in. So in my role, I think it's people issue, but I try to handle them as good as possible, not to stress me out or to bring anything that can bring me down. So
Yeah.
people stress, but there is a way to manage each and everything. So another thing, it's like you have to be good at what you're doing. So you have to show like people you are good in what you're doing, and showing people that you're good in what you're doing. But I don't think that's a challenge. That's something that you really need to show, no matter which company you're working from or whichever. But I think from my end, I think I could say people, but something that I've learned through the various programs that I've taken and through courses that I do on how to manage people. But from my end, it's a good opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Beth. Any challenges you'd like to put in, Joy?
I think for me, I'll speak on the tech side. So I'm part of the digital IT department, which is part of the technology department in Safaricom. And as Beth mentioned, people always expecting you to know is a very big thing, especially if you're in a role like mine or if you're in a technical lead in a project. People actually always expect you to know and to have the answers. So the challenge there is to keep upskilling yourself. I think something else that I have really faced as a challenge here is handling situations or issues like network downtimes or application downtimes. I think when you're standalone developer and it's just your one app that is up on your website, if it goes down, it's not really that big of a deal. But when you're a big organization that has customer data for 40 million customers and they're all on this system and it's down, then it can really be chaotic. So just learning to handle some of those challenges, and even as we build the applications in the system, always keeping in mind that it needs to be up 99% of the time and available. So that has been a challenge I face, but I continue to learn and to embrace them as they come.
Okay, thank you so much for that insight. Now we can head over to the Google team. Allela.
Okay, so I don't really think of it as a challenge. I think it's just what the society expects of you as an individual. There's this like this imagination that you're working at Google, this is what you're supposed to know, this and this. At some point, there are things you don't know. But all in all, I think working at Google is basically the best experience that I've ever had. It's the most accommodating team, diverse. But when you look at challenges, I'd say it's just adjusting also to the culture. We all know it's a different culture. So I moved from having a software developer culture to now having this family-like culture where it's everybody, like it's just everybody's there for you, which is also something most of us are used to. So at first it is hard to adjust, but I guess it's just things we get used to with time. I don't think that any challenge.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question here is, how and where can I get volunteer opportunities to assist me grow my career in ICT? That's a broad question. Who can take that up?
The best way to do so, I'd say, is plug into existing communities across your ecosystem, because this is the only way you're going to be able to get access to more materials other than the ones that are available online. This is the only way you're going to be able to meet with people in person or virtually who actually will take their time to guide you through. So if you're starting out, just plug into the communities, just figure out which one fits you best. Take it for instance, let's say you're passionate about Android, but you don't know how to get started or what to do or raise somebody. But then you meet somebody like Frank Tamre who leads that community. Then you're able to learn from him. You're able to learn from the whole community that he has created. So just plug into communities across the ecosystem. Ensure you learn as much as possible. Ensure you network also. It will help you grow your career, because if I know your skills, then I can actually recommend you for something. But if I'm not able to know about you or what you're doing, then it's really hard. Yeah.
Okay, great. I hope that answers that question. Someone was asking about, how do you handle expectations not met? Maybe we can have Tabitha or Ruth answer this question. Generally, in your work, in your line of work, how do you handle expectations that are not met?
Okay, I think I can answer that question.
Okay.
Like for example, if people have like a lot of expectations, or maybe you anticipated to do something and you've not actually realized it to your expectation. For me, how I always handle it is learning from experience, because different things might have not worked out as the way you'd expected. Maybe different people that you'd reach out to them to support, emails you'd written, calls that you've made, messages that you'd sent, people have not responded. So how I've always managed it is having like a very positive thought, like yes, it didn't happen, what could have been the cause? If maybe someone did not respond to their email, it's not maybe they have ignored the email, maybe something bad has happened, maybe the family is sick, or maybe they're having personal problems, or maybe they're not at work, they're not able to access. So having that positive mentality in everything, I think really helps a lot, because you'll be able to figure out, okay, it didn't work out on this, we tried this, did not work, maybe next time let's do this, so that we're able to realize some of the expectations.
Okay. Thank you, Ruth. The next question we have, hello, I'm a fourth year student taking BIT, and I would like you to guide me which area I should specialize in. So someone wants guidance on what area they should specialize in. Who can answer this? How will you advise them?
Claire, maybe I can take that. I also did.
Okay. Yes, I can.
BBIT in campus. So coming to that decision on what you want to specialize in is sometimes quite hard, mostly in Kenya, since you don't know which opportunity is there for you, what lies ahead of you. Because somebody like me, I didn't think that one time I would be seated in Safaricom as a change management engineer. So sometimes it's hard for you, like to decide on what you want to specialize in. but you can put yourself out there, try out to learn different things, and once you find something that suits you well, you can decide to specialize in it, even if you don't get a job that relates to what you're doing. So like currently, like me, yes, I do change management, but my passion is in cloud. But being a change management engineer doesn't stop me from doing what I like about cloud. So you find me during my part-time work, during when I'm not at work, when I'm just relaxing, I would do some of the courses about cloud. I would play with my AWS account to see what's happening out there. So it's just basically putting out yourself out there, trying out things. And if you get something and it's not relating to what you're doing, just go for it, learn about it, and you continue doing what you like doing. Yeah.
Thank you, Beth, for that response. Ed is asking, there was a presenter who focused on web development. Kindly, I would love to ask her to share how I can get in touch with her. I remember Ruth had talked about being a web developer.
Okay, so I've shared my email on the chat. It's kaveke@Tecknogalz. You can have a look at it so that you get Tecknogalz correct. Some people always misspell Tecknogalz, so just check on the chat. You'll be able to see my email there and reach out to me. Happy to help.
Okay, thank you, Ruth. Margaret is asking, are there any scholarships for tech for the less fortunate? So I can just start, because what we do as Mobi girls, we look for underprivileged girls who are very passionate and they want to pursue a career in tech. So what we normally do is we have boot camps. The last time we had a grant from .Connect. Allela is one of the beneficiaries of that grant. So what we did is the girls went through a boot camp, a 1 month boot camp. They were able to learn an MIT course, and after that they were able to create projects. So for us, that is what we do. We look for techies who are less fortunate or underprivileged but have the passion to pursue tech careers. There are many other grants that are always online, but I'd like the speakers just to speak on the ones that they know of, or a link that people can search on. So anyone can take up any scholarships for the underprivileged or less fortunate.
Okay, I can as well answer. So in Mombasa, we always support, as I said earlier, our classes are 10,000 per month, but we always support girls from marginalized community. And this year we've also have it on a separate unit or a program. So we are running a program called Code Hack, where it's only for the girls from humble background who are not able to afford. Currently, we are working with 20 girls. We look forward to work in the next phase to take 30 girls. So if they're in Mombasa and you really want to join, just also you can check on my email and reach out.
Okay, great. Anyone else? So I've talked about Mobi Girls. Ruth has talked about the Code Hack and what she's doing. Any other speaker that has any other organization?
Claire?
Yes?
I think Akira Chicks can also do her
okay.
best. Yeah? You can check on Akira Chicks' website on the various programs that they have, but I believe would also assist her.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I can move on to the next question. There's this endless debate of men and women working in the same field, having varying salaries, in that women get underpaid in comparison to their male colleagues. So this was a comment. It's a debate. It's a debate that's going on. So who can comment on this debate? Anyone can join in to say something about this.
Okay, from my end as Beth, I can't talk much about it because I've not encountered such a scenario from my end. I don't know. I don't know what to say, or I say it's only online things people like talking about it, but I've not encountered such an issue, so I can't comment much about it.
Okay.
Um,
Anyone probably who has faced this?
No, I think this is an unending debate, and what you can advise is you know what you're worth. So there is always the room to negotiate for your salaries, and also you always have an opportunity to like cross check with maybe what the others are earning in the same field. So always just learn how to negotiate for your salaries because you know what you're worth, and don't take something that you feel is not what you deserve. So just I think that's the only thing I can say, because if you look at this salary a discussion, it's something unending.
Yeah,
And
true.
yeah, and you can't always, sorry to say this, but you can't always say you're a victim because you're a lady. You will be one only if you do not negotiate for your worth. So just learn how to negotiate for one, because truth be told, you will run into different companies and maybe they have a mindset they won't change it, but it's you to make the change. It's you to have a stand on what exactly you want. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Allela, as well. So how do you identify a community to plug in? Because with online, some can't be trusted. Also, basically, like, which are the trustworthy online communities? So how do you identify a community to plug in? Because with some, they can't be trusted. It's a question for you, speakers.
Maybe I can answer that. I think first
Yeah.
of all, you need to go online, check about that organization. Does it match what you want to do? Does it speak to you? If maybe you see their motto, what they are doing doesn't relate to you, then I don't think there's need for you to join in. So basically, it's doing more research about that organization, or doing more research about that organization before you volunteer. Yeah.
Okay. I think also Allela shared some communities. Maybe you can share just down here in case someone didn't see it.
Claire, just to add on what Beth has said, I think it's also important to take the recommendation. Like in this webinar, we've given 4 or 5 communities. So when you hear people talking about a community or praising it, that's a good indication that it's legitimate, and it would be good for you to join it.
Okay, thanks for that as well. So this is a question for Tabitha. What advice can you give to students in terms of balancing classwork and work, volunteering in an organization?
So Tabitha logged off, but she's actually sent me her answer on WhatsApp. So she says,
okay,
she says, balance is really important. If you're going to commit yourself to things aside from your studies, then you should be ready to make sacrifices to balance so that you do not succeed in one and fail the other. It's not easy, but you can do it. You need to plan yourself well and allocate the time for these different activities that you are involved in to foster the balance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her response.
Thank you for that. So I think the last question here is, what programming language would you recommend to start learning first to build a strong base in coding? So anyone can take up this. What programming language would you recommend to start learning fast to build a strong base in coding? What do you guys think, panelists?
For me, I will recommend Python. Python alongside with basics of web development, that is HTML and CSS, because Python is a bit easier. Yeah, so I'll recommend Python and HTML, CSS. Then you can also check on some of the learning platforms that are already there. For example, W3 schools, which are very detailed. You can check on Code Academy. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for those recommendations. Anyone else? Joy, Lela, Beth, any other?
I agree that Python is a good one to start with. If you're also looking to work with Oracle systems or to go into a lot of backend systems, Java would also be a good language to learn. So just give it time. There's a lot to learn with Java, but just give it time. It's a good language. Then for Android, definitely either if you want to do iOS or Android itself, then you can always learn Swift or Android.
Okay. Thank you. Any addition, Beth? Okay. So Sharon has also shared in the comment section, the question of a programming language varies. Most people recommend C and C++ for strong basics. That's why in school, this is what is taught. But I found out through experience, Python is easy to learn, or Ruby on Rails. So yeah, those are just some of the recommendations that you've been given. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for keeping the conversation going. Everyone on the comment section, guys who are tweeting, we really do appreciate keeping this conversation going. I don't think we have any other question in the comment section, so I can close out this webinar. Let me see if there's any other pending question that I might have missed out. No, none. So I think I'd like to close off this webinar to end at 12. I think it was just very interactive. I'd like to thank all participants who've been able to join in. I thank you for all the links that you've shared online. Thank you for everything that you've done, for the amazing information that you've been able to share. I'd like to thank even the men in the house who've supported us girls in ICT. We want to thank you for that. I'd also really like to give a big shout out to our panelists. They were amazing. We have one of them said, network is net worth. Your network is your net worth. And we want to thank you so much for just coming in. We want to thank Joy. We want to thank Allela. We want to thank Beth. We want to thank Ruth. We want to thank Tabitha. All of you have done an amazing job. You continue to do such an amazing job on the tech space. Let us bring in more women. We need more women in the tech space, and we need to be able to speak out what we are doing. So I want to thank you all. We want to thank you all for such an amazing session. We want to thank the speakers. None of this would be possible without you. I'd also like to thank the behind the scenes team, my co-moderators. They are busy on social media making sure that the session is going on well. And I'm really hoping that you all enjoyed this webinar. You guys did. It couldn't be a webinar without you guys. On the comment section, tweeting, all this will not be possible without you. So thank you so much for this. We hope to do this again and again. Our co-moderators who you did not see, their names are, there was Fresia Kamau, there was Edith, there was Lucy Wangoi. Maybe there's just one that has come in. They just say hi and bye. Just a minute. So this is Edith.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I had a lot of meetings, but I was following on the back end. Yeah, thank you so much, and may we continue doing similar things and mentoring each other.
So thank you so much for joining in. We'll close out here. Maybe our speakers can all just say bye, and then we can close out the meeting.
Okay, bye. Thank you, Claire, for the opportunity to share and to learn today. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.